surprised seeing me standing there in Sullivan Park? Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk into the microphone, please. Well, I try to, but I have to read my script, and I have to. Can we reorganise it? Is that a bit better? Is that okay? Yes. Okay. 10 years ago, I came to Tradies and met friends for coffee or lunch. And if somebody had said to me one day, "You'll be standing up here telling your story," my answer would have been, "No way." But here I am today, and very happy to share my story with you. But I must remember not to go off script, because I only have 15 minutes. And I am known for talking quite a bit. When I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's years ago, it is not what I expected to hear. Your GP asks you some questions, does some tests, then you are referred to a geriatrician for more tests. And you have to hear for the first time you have Alzheimer's, a disease I knew nothing about. I was not ready to share this diagnosis with anybody, only my husband Paul, who was with me. He wanted to tell the family, but I said no, and it was a few years before I had the courage and knowledge to talk about it. Firstly, we had to be educated. So I rang Alzheimer's Australia, and they were called Dementia Australia. They've changed their name. Oh, they're now called Dementia Australia, to ask for help. And we were enrolled in a Living with Dementia program, the beginning of our understanding of dementia. Knowledge is power, I always say. On the last day of the course, we heard about the art program at the MCA for people with dementia and their carers. The research study was how creative engagement with contemporary art might reawaken affected brains. I had read about neuroplasticity and creating new pathways in the brains, so we registered and were accepted in the program, starting the following year. The University of Sydney's Brain and Mind Centre were involved, so when the program finished, they asked interested volunteers to take part in the clinical staging of late-life mood and cognitive syndrome research program at the Brain and Mind Centre in Camperdown. A very interesting day, and I found everybody involved to be kind and caring, giving me more confidence to accept my diagnosis. Hopefully one day there will be a cure. A few years passed by, and August last year, I attended an event hosted by Three Bridges. The keynote speaker was Kate Swaffer. Kate lives in Adelaide and was diagnosed with younger onset dementia when she was 49 years of age. And that was 11 years ago. I thought to myself, this lady knows what she's talking about and totally understands dementia. Of course, she has a Master of Science in Dementia Care, which she finished in 2014 after her diagnosis. And she is living with the disease. She is an author and published her book in 2016, What the Hell Happened to My Brain? As well as being an international speaker, activist and advocate for dementia and aged care, she is a co-founder and CEO of Dementia Alliance International, which was formed in 2014, and I wished I'd known about it then. DAI's vision is a world where a person with dementia continues to be fully valued and included. It is the first international group to provide support and advocacy for people with dementia. I joined the local weekly support group, which includes Australia and New Zealand. My first meeting was challenging. My son told me Zoom meetings are what business people have like Skype. And I thought Zoom was a lens on a camera. I didn't know that you could sit at your computer and see all these people. Just follow the link when you're sent the email. but I didn't realise you have to push the unmute key. I'm not very good with computers, and at times forget to start the video. After a few months, I joined an international monthly group called Cafe de Brain, and met people from England, Scotland, Canada and the US. They are so passionate about keeping themselves healthy and focused. Many are advocates and activists speaking at international conferences as Kate does. I look at everybody in our Zoom meetings and think, we are dementia warriors and this disease is not going to rule our lives. One lady from the US, who is an author, introduced herself to the group, saying, I don't do reading, writing or arithmetic, but I can talk. Wow, just like me. People who know me can verify that. Don't ring me up unless you're prepared to talk for a good hour, as I do suffer from verbal diarrhea. And my daughter will agree with that. She's nodding her head. The Americans are so big on diet. Blueberries are good for your brain, we are told. It's a wonder we're not all turning blue. But I think the common sense diet is best for all. Exercise as much as you can, and most importantly, socialise, which isn't always easy. Many of us have friends and family who no longer keep in touch. And I keep saying that dementia is not contagious. We still have our long-term memories, and when I speak to people, that's where I tap in. At the Living with Dementia group, one lady was very quiet, so I started chatting to her and asked, where did you go to school? And it was the same school as me, Cobra Home Science, and we both did the business course. She was very good at the shorthand, I was rubbish, but I did manage the typing and the bookkeeping. Also at the MCA was a man who never spoke. So for many weeks, he just never spoke. He just followed everybody around, never said a word. One day he came and stood beside me when I was looking out the window at Circular Quay. So I started talking, as I do, about the ferries and how I enjoyed the trip to Watson's Bay. He nodded his head and agreed with me and started to talk. We can speak, you just have to press the right buttons. Kate calls her husband her backup brain, and that is what carers are. Always in the background. Oh, I get emotional when I think about this. We have, my poor husband sitting there. We have an easier life. They're making sure we have an easier life and providing all the skills we have lost. It's a full-time job. That is why carers need their own space. And I never thought I'd do this. And talk out for themselves. I'm much happier when it's never here. My daily tasks have to be written down. The medical appointments noted on the calendar. Mine in red, Paul's in black biro. This tip was given to me by a carer, and it certainly works for us. You just have to remember to look at the calendar every morning. One day Kate said on her blog, "You gotta love dementia." Really? Then I thought about all the amazing people I have met because of dementia. It is such a long list. One man wrote and recorded a song, "We Are Not Invisible." It was so moving. People with dementia singing, holding up signs, "We are not invisible." Singing is good. There are many dementia choirs around the world. I have met a man who lives in Port Macquarie. He writes and sings his songs at events. Many people find their artistic side. I have seen artworks which are amazing. Some still play the piano, recite and write their own poetry. Another man has a collection of banjos which he plays. So many people using their talent to bring comfort and understanding to their peer group. I have to keep reminding myself these people have dementia. I do have what I call my down days, as many of us do, also brain fog, which at times can be frustrating. I try to remain positive and remind myself about what I can do. There must be a cheeky elf living in our house, as kitchen drawers, cupboards and wardrobes are reorganised. I eventually find the misplaced items, although one day Paul found a cooking spoon in the garbage bin. And it wasn't me, because I don't cook very much anymore. So I wonder how that got there. Smartphones are useful to many people, especially the ones living alone, for they can program reminders about medication and appointments. One lady I know has reminders to drink water and exercise. So technology can be very helpful. DAI is run by people with dementia. And that always amazes me. When I first went to the Zoom meeting, I didn't realise that the hosts that in America and England they all had dementia. I thought, when I grow up, I want to be like them. And membership is free for people with dementia. It relies on donations for its fundings. DAI has a memorandum of understanding with Dementia Australia, who now have DAI's details on their website. I have brought some info cards with me today, so if you know anybody who is interested in joining, they are on the Dementia Australia table. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I thank Jane for inviting me once again to share my story.